Here? Okay. Good evening and welcome to the Arts Commission meeting, the regular meeting of February 1st, 2024. We call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. And if you would do us the honor, Ms. Commissioner Ochoa, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner. Ms. Fatua, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Derderian,
Present.
Commissioner Lucia,
Present.
Commissioner Mann,
Present.
Commissioner Ochoa,
Present.
Commissioner Zuckerman,
Present.
Vice Chair Wondercheck,
Present.
Chair Ashendor.
Present.
We have quorum.
Thank you very much. Then the next item on the agenda is public comment. This is for matters not on this evening's agenda, and comments are limited to 3 minutes. I see no one in the chambers. Is there anyone online? All right, then we will now close public comments and move on to commissioner comments. And may we start with you, Commissioner Mann?
Sure, thank you. I just wanted to say I made it to the butterfly art installation opening the other day, and it was Tuesday, and it was so wonderful. And it's right by my house, so I've been waiting for this for a long time. And I took my kids by it today to see it, and it's gorgeous. And they did such a good job, and the presentation was wonderful. And then I read an article today in the Orange County Register about how monarch butterflies population have been on they were rising, and then there's been a decline this past year. And when we were at the art installation, a monarch butterfly came by. It was so funny, and was flying around. And I was realizing that all of the plants in this installation are meant for the butterflies to increase the population. And so it was so interesting to see art have this function of helping populate a species. And I love dual purpose art. I think it's wonderful. And so I was really proud of everybody who put that together. I want to thank you guys at the city for picking. That's a great installation. I think it's going to look really good, and I think it's going to last for a long time. So thank you very much, President.
Thank you. Commissioner Lucia.
I have no comments at this time.
All right. Vice Chair Wondercheck.
Just wanted to mention that 2 weekends ago there was a wonderful production put on by the Arts and Learning Conservatory for the life story of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. It was called Music of the March, a tribute to Reverend King and the Motown sound. So that was at the Barclay, and it seems like this may end up being an annual event. So if you missed it, this 2 weekends ago, it will be something that will occur next year, and it's something that is very engaging. So we hope more come out for that. And I guess I can just mention one more thing. Black History Month parade for the city of Anaheim is coming up this weekend, and it will be at the Promenade in downtown Anaheim. So anyone interested in attending that, it's a pretty exciting time as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioner Zuckerman.
Thank you. I want to make reference to an opinion piece that occurred in the New York Times on Sunday, and it was written by David Brooks, and it turns out to be sort of a contemporary manifesto of sorts. It was titled, "How to Save a Sad, Lonely, Angry, and Mean Society," which seems important. And in it, he references the philosopher, and novelist Iris Murdoch, and wrote, quote, "Attention is a moral act. The key to becoming a better person," Iris Murdoch wrote, "is to be able to cast a just and loving attention on others. It's to shed the self-serving way of looking at the world and see things as they really are. We can," Murdoch argued, "grow by looking." He also said that through culture and the liberal arts, we can enter the subjective experience of particular people, how this unique individual felt, how this other one longed and suffered. We have the chance to move with them, experience the world a bit the way they experience it. So the idea is that through art and culture, that we have an opportunity to facilitate both emotional knowledge and empathy. And so I just want to underscore that that's a big part of what we're trying to do here on the Arts Commission. And sometimes people think that the arts are extra, but in fact, I think it will be what saves us.
Well done. Well said. Thank you. Commissioner Ochoa.
Beautifully said. Thanks for sharing that, Commissioner Zuckerman.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to echo what Commissioner Mann had mentioned. I also attended the butterfly unveiling. It was well attended. It was a beautiful day. I spoke with many residents who live nearby, and they were so enthusiastic about the garden and the sculptures. And one even exclaimed how they can't wait to see more public art. And I said, I can't too. So it gives me hope. We're doing great work, and I'm really proud, and can't wait to see more. Nicely done to the artist, Ms. Bazan, and our very own Ms. Gardner. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Derderian.
I just want to take a moment to recognize city staff and especially the media team. I was looking through YouTube today, actually, in preparation for the meeting, and was so impressed with the Art Venture videos as well as the Costa Mesa portrait. Just fantastic production quality, really impressive, a beautifully told story for each of the artists that won Art Venture and some of the other things happening in the city. So I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to the city for putting that together.
Thank you. And just a couple comments. I'd like to remind our commissioners and the public that the exhibit is ongoing at the Costa Mesa Senior Center, featured artist Ellie Browse. And for those of you who missed that opening, I want to thank you, Lorette Garner, for doing something quite out of the Senior Center box. The event was at night. There was a rock band or something. My husband and I were the only old people there. And the music was loud, and there were 40 or 50 people, and it was so eclectic. Someone commented, if we only open the doors to the senior center, we'll bring in the entire west side. So the artist turned 21 that night. Her parents flew in from Pennsylvania. Lorette, you took a chance, and it really was wonderful. So congratulations, and thank you, Ashley, also for being there and keeping everything under control. So please go to the Senior Center to see Ellie's work. It's on through April, I believe. And I hope you'll share later, Ms. Garner, with the community about the arts grants, which the arts grant application process is now open and runs through mid-March. So with that, we will move on to item number 2 under item number 1 under new old business is the approval of the December 7th, 2023 Arts Commission minutes. Okay. Seeing or hearing no corrections, I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Call for the vote.
Okay. Motion carries 6-0-1 with an abstain. I'm sorry, Commissioner Zuckerman abstained from this.
Since I wasn't there.
All right, the next item on this evening's agenda, old business, the permanent public art on public property. Ms. Garner.
Thank you, Chair Ashendorf. So as a refresher for our memories, since this was back in December, at our last meeting, Commissioner Ochoa suggested creating a new artist definition to replace the one from the Arts and Culture Master Plan and reference the City of Pasadena's descriptions for artist qualifications and the goals and objectives section of their document, so the City of Pasadena's document. So I looked at the video from December, and I kind of was thinking about it, and when I watched it again, what I was thinking, what the intent, and Commissioner Ochoa can step in on this, but instead of creating a different definition, as I view the above language as a more generic and kind of universal definition for those who may not work in the arts, which kind of sets a standard and a clear understanding of the differences between like a vendor who fabricates creative designs and artists who create public art projects. So what I went ahead and did to kind of reference what you mentioned was I inserted in our document the goals and objectives from the City of Pasadena, just straight from there. So I didn't change anything. So this will be an opportunity if anyone wants to make any edits or suggestions for that. And then I also added in that piece the exclusion to public art element to kind of make distinctions between what a public art project is. And so those are both from the City of Pasadena, which are highlighted in that document that I put in the agenda. So my thoughts were after our discussion in December that this might help kind of clarify some of the things that Commissioner Ochoa was mentioning at the last meeting, and I'd love to open it up to everyone if anyone has any comments or suggestions for those additions.
Thank you. And we wanted to make sure that all the commissioners, those who may not have been here, and since it was last year, that we had an opportunity to make sure that there were any other comments that could go along with this. Is everything, Commissioner Ochoa, incorporated the way that, with your intent?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ms. Gardner, for including the amendments discussed in the last meeting. There is more clarity, and I think it will serve us in the implementation process. I especially like the inclusion of, in goals and objective, item number 1, the commissioning artists at varied points of their career. I think that's important.
Vice Chair Wondercheck.
No, I agree. I like what I see here. I know the age difference was an issue, but it seems like that's been definitely addressed here, and along with the high quality. So I like what was presented from that amendment, so thank you as well.
Also, I'd like to comment that in the selecting a public art panel, we have done a good job of providing a well-rounded group of participants in the selection process, having someone from a nonprofit or at least one commissioner, someone from the neighborhood or representative, an educator and city staff. So I think that may just cover all the bases, pardon me, for the selection and evaluation process as well.
Can I also add that I really think you did a great job here. It looks really good. It's very thorough. I think it's definitely what we asked for, or what we wanted to see amended and changed. And it's a great definition. And thank you.
So, sorry, I just have one quick question. I like it as well, and I just was looking at it again, and maybe this is addressed somewhere else, but, and I'm just reading it again. Okay, so how does the city address potential conflict of interest? Because, one of the people that's called out for the panel is a for-profit or not-for-profit business representative, preferably one whose business will be impacted by the project. So we want buy-in, right? But we also don't want conflict of interest. So is there a separate conflict of interest statement, or how is that addressed?
Yeah, I can chime in. Sorry. I'm used to pressing the button in front of me. The same way, I think most of our commission and our RFP and our bid projects, there's always a form in there that expressly you have to waive that there's no conflict of interest form included in all of our packets. So that would go along with the same in any kind of public art piece when there's any kind of bid or solicitation for an artist or a piece of theirs. So. That would go along with the panel too. Anybody,
Perfect.
It would be the same across the board. Everybody signs it. In fact, even as staff and evaluators, when we evaluate bids for RFPs, we signed our own conflict of interest.
Fantastic. So maybe it just references that, there's a standalone conflict of interest form. That's a requirement of serving on the panel. Thank you.
Any other comments? All right. Well done, Lorette. Thank you very much, commissioners, for all of your input here. On that, do we have a motion to approve? Okay. And call for the question?
Motion carries 7-0.
All right. Thank you very much, Lorette. We continue to get one step closer. Thank you. All right. Now I will turn this item on new business number 1 to Monique Villasenor, who is acting as Alma Reyes this evening.
And I'm going to turn it right back over to Ms. Fatua for the election of chair and vice chair.
So for this item, this is to select the new chair and vice chair. These appointments will take effect for the next commission meeting. And we will now accept any nominations for chair. So we're going to do them separately. So the first vote will go for chair. Are there any nominations?
Yep. Yes, I'd like to nominate Vice Chair Wondercheck for the position of Chair of the Arts Commission.
I will second that.
All right, so you guys can vote on the dais. Motion carries 7-0 to appoint Commissioner Wondercheck as chair. Congratulations. All right, so the next item is to vote for our vice chair. Do we have any nominations?
I would like to nominate Heidi Zuckerman for the role as vice chair.
I will second that.
Motion carries 7-0 to appoint Commissioner Zuckerman as vice chair. Congratulations and thank you, vice chair and chair from 2023.
Thank you. Thank you. So, you sure you don't want to take over right now, Deborah? Okay, fine. Well, we'll just move this on. And Commissioner Zuckerman's here, Vice Chair Zuckerman is here as well, so. All right, we'll move on to new business number 2, the approval of the utility box art program applications. And Ms. Garner, you've provided us with quite a packet this evening.
Thank you, Chair Ashendorf. Do you all have the images of the boxes on your screens? Do you want me to pull it up? You're good? Okay. So just a little bit of background about these this year and kind of the focus for the boxes that we are presenting this evening. So this year the focus for staff was to replace utility box art that's older and peeling and not looking its best. It's been up for a little while. We do have funding to replace this year 9 boxes and to create 11 new vinyl wraps. So our general rule is to try and replace every 3 years, but due to limited funding, we try and change them out on a case-by-case basis and by, kind of viewing the wear and tear, and we kind of do like we'll drive around and check all the boxes, and we'll kind of take some photos. So this year we received a lot of new artist submissions, which was great to see some new artwork in there. And in considering new designs, the location was kind of the biggest factor for us this year due to the replacement boxes. So if an artist wanted to stay at a specific location or the location at their previous replacement box, they were bumped to our next year's application process, as long as the box isn't like a priority replacement box or it's in bad shape. So not all the artists were interested in replacing their older boxes when asked. And if, for those of you who may not know, this was a Cultural Arts Committee practice where if an artist had a wrap on a box, they were offered the opportunity to wrap it again if we were going to replace that box. So we've tried to honor that a little bit this year. We did ask artists if they wanted to replace certain boxes that we wanted to replace, and some of them declined. And so we've kind of assigned different artists to those boxes. So, so in conclusion, out of the 11 boxes, 9 will be replacement boxes and 2 will be replaced at new locations and new boxes. So out of the whole group, I have 1 repeat artist. He was, the last submission he did, Bill Anderson, was 2017, and then the rest are all new artists. So to replace some of those older boxes, and you can see the addresses on the tables. And yes, so that's my intro to this, and we can move forward on comments and or approving and review.
All right, we'll open it up for comments by commissioners.
I would like to say they're beautiful. I thought all of these were really beautiful, and they're all so different, and I'm really excited to see all of these works go up. I'm hoping all of them get accepted. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but they are. It's really great. And I've been telling a lot of my artist friends about this, and they're really interested. And I'm surprised sometimes it's not known more, even though you see them all the time on the streets everywhere. People don't know, hey, you can just go to the website, go apply, go put your artwork out there. So hopefully more people will do that. But this is fantastic, and it's a great grouping of art. Thank you.
Yeah, Commissioner Derderian?
Thank you. I just have one maybe clarifying question. So artist number 3 for box number 7, it's an underwater scene. It's quite lovely. And does the scuba diver have a gun?
It's a spear.
A spear, okay.
Yes, Commissioner Derderian.
So I just wanted to raise 10 and 11, which is the Segerstrom ones. I'm pleased to see it. I'm thrilled to have Segerstrom, of course, in the city and to help put their name out. And obviously they're sponsoring these boxes, which is fantastic. But in reviewing them, I don't mean to come down perhaps too hard on the graphic designer, but it comes across more to me as a, say, online or print ad, rather than anything of real kind of artistic merit. And you can compare these even to last year's, I'd say, where we had OCC and the OC Fairgrounds both submit, actually, I think, quite attractive designs that I've enjoyed seeing around the city. So I don't know if it's something that we could take back to Segerstrom and ask them to put a little bit more artistic effort into it, that it and not just look like, I mean, I imagine these are all pictures from their programs and the wonderful children that they have, on stage and doing different things. But perhaps there's a way in which we can ask for something more artistic and providing addition to the city's social fabric, shall we say. Is that something that's possible, Ms. Gardner?
Yes, I can definitely kind of mention that to them. That was feedback from the Arts Commission. I know the box they did previously was more kind of like word art, so it did look a little different than than this one did for this year. And that image is a little stretched in there too, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
It was a PDF and it was hard to to put on there as an image. But yes, I can definitely bring this back to them.
Yeah, there are a lot of heads nodding up here in support of that. So could you tell me, Ms. Garner, how, I mean, the numbers seem to have just increased with interest. Are we doing anything special? I mean, the artists are coming from all over, and their level of talent is very diverse, and it's really exciting to see this. And before you answer, I hope that, like, the woman Camila Kowalski, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce her name, but I looked at her video or vlog, and she was using a hair dryer and some other unusual things to get that image. And so we've really elevated the artists on utility boxes, and I hope that as we do for other things for our artists, that our TV will be able to do something to feature these artists, because they're really going the mile, the big mile for this one.
I have to agree. I feel like the quality of the submissions is really the highest that I think we've seen, and I think maybe that's also why then this stands out, because it looks like an ad, which maybe it is, but but this, I mean, this looks like art, and this is art that I would actually drive around and see in person, which is a really cool goal for the project.
Thank you.
I'm wondering if we've ever considered affixing maybe a QR code to the box where you can learn more information. It was really wonderful. A lot of these artists had websites. It was really great to learn about them, their inspiration, see their other work. But if we could link maybe to a site on our website explaining the utility box program, I think there's a lot of people who might be standing outside on the corner, maybe waiting for the bus or something, waiting outside Starbucks. And I would scan a QR code if I saw one of these really cool art pieces.
Yes, so they did start to do that project. It's just something that's, I actually was talking to Chair Ashendorf about a little bit. It's something we can definitely get back to. We just I put it to the wayside for the moment. But I have an arts assistant, so I'm sure it'll be a fun project for her. So.
Perfect. All right, so with that, would you like to make the motion, Commissioner Derderian?
Are we moving to approve 1 through 9? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So I move to approve 1 through 9. Oh, I should make that.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, perfect. And we'll call for the question.
Motion carries 7-0 to approve 1 through 9 artwork for the box. Utility box
Perfect.
program.
All right. The next item on the agenda, new business Poet Laureate program.
Okay, so thank you, Chair Ashendorf. So this is a new program from the Arts and Culture Master Plan. And I've met a couple times with Chair Ashendorf and Commissioner Derderian about this, as this is an area of interest for both of them. So I took some feedback. This is not necessarily a strength for me, poetry. So we talked it out a little bit, and we worked out some ideas for this program, and I created kind of a draft handbook, which is really similar to utility box art program and the exhibition spaces that we have on our website as well. So the initial thought for transitioning this from an artist laureate program, which is in the arts, it's kind of laid out on the Arts and Culture Master Plan as an artist laureate program. We kind of wanted to transition it to a poet, at least for the Poet Laureate program, at least for the first year or two. Just for ease in the first year of the programming, we feel like there's a lot of great examples in the county where we could start with this one. We have, some countywide and statewide poetry competitions that provide our county with some great talent. And then also our other consideration was that while we have visual arts and performing arts kind of in our programming, we don't really address literary arts yet. And so we thought this would be a nice way to do that. So I'm bringing this program to the Arts Commission. If anyone has any comments or review or changes or suggestions, we're happy to take those.
Well, we'll start with, I hope you saw the Poet Laureate box with the poem, and that is our hope that we will move in that direction, that perhaps it could be each of our districts throughout the city, that a box will be there and the poet can come and change out his or her their work, and so that everyone in the community can really enjoy poetry. And I think this is really wonderful opportunity to really enhance the oral and literary arts in our community. And so I want to thank you, Commissioner Derderian, for working alongside us with this one. And I think we've got some good things on the table here for you to examine. Yes.
I think this is so cool. I'm so happy about this, and it was one of the comments that we heard from the commission when it was assembled, to not just prioritize the visual or the performing arts. And I wholeheartedly endorse the substitution or replacement with the artist laureate by a poet laureate. And I'm also really pleased to see the stipend. It's substantial enough, that, because when I was first reading it, I thought, oh, it's a volunteer position, or it's going to have like sort of a small compensation, and it's sizable enough that, I think it'll be taken seriously. And I love the idea of the poet laureate coming and kicking off some of our meetings by reading a poem, and I'm super excited about this. So thank you both for your work on this, on behalf of the Arts Commission, and to Laurette, everyone on your team.
Yes.
I think it's going to distinguish Costa Mesa within Orange County as well.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Zuckerman. Any other comments?
I think this looks great. I'm really excited as well. And I love that the poet will be included in Art Ventures, because I think there's a wonderful, symbiosis that happens amongst all the arts.
Good job with the framework is really important, so that we have a sense of what the responsibility is. We're taking this very seriously for the poet, and I think that's very important. So if there are no other comments, yes.
Just one. I recently was somewhere and somebody came up and gave me a poem as like a present, and I've had that happen before. And I love getting poetry as presents. I think it's such a cool little thing. But it's such a great way to spread art and so quickly. And I think having this program is going to, I can't wait to see what it's going to develop into, even as far as going into other arts, like a performing arts or a beatnik. I don't know, whatever, something's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. And I'm really excited about it. And thank you for putting this together. It looks very good.
Thank you. Thank you all. With that, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Poet Laureate program and the application process as outlined.
Seconded.
All right, then we'll call for the question.
Motion carries 7-0 to approve the Poet Laureate program.
Thank you all very much. And now we'll move on to the monthly reports. Ms. Garner.
Yes, thank you, Chair Ashendorf. And just to address a couple of questions, I don't know if I answered with the more applications for utility boxes.
Sorry, yes.
We added a stipend, so maybe that's part of it. So we added some money to it, so it always sweetens the pot a little bit, I think. So.
Perfect.
But yes, and I'm glad you all like the Poet Laureate program, and I think we talked about it, and I do like having it as 2 years. It makes the stipend a little bigger. There's a little more longevity and kind of more influence, I think, that way too. So thank you all for your comments. So for my report, it's very short. I'm doing a lot of kind of admin work right now, so my apologies. So the Arts Grant program is underway. We have 2 qualified applications so far. And in the next few weeks, I'll work on a subcommittee like we did last year and have a few of you, one of you review with another constituents from the community to kind of take a look at that, and then we'll bring them to the Arts Commission. And I think my hope was to bring those in April, to the April meeting. And the free Seekerstrom Center campus program is currently in progress. So this next week, we have the Lion King coming up, and we've distributed 30 tickets to some targeted nonprofit organizations that the city regularly works with. So for this trip, we'll offer a shuttle service from City Hall to Seekerstrom Hall, and we'll have families from the Wilson Learning Center, Title I School, Killybrook Elementary, and the Costa Mesa Senior Center. And we've begun signups for all the other shows coming up. I have, I think like 10 other shows coming up until June. And so I've sent those, we've been targeting emails to targeted nonprofits. And some of those organizations are Costa Mesa Unidos, Human Options, Resilience OC, Save Our Youth, Share Ourselves, Someone Cares Soup Kitchen and Tutoring Program, Trellis, Wilson Learning Center, Project Hope Alliance, Families Forward, SPIN, Stand Up for Kids, Costa Mesa Senior Center, the Towers Apartments, and Celebrating Life Community Health Center. So this year is kind of a pilot. We're really just kind of looking to target nonprofits that are already doing a lot of this work and, serving these communities. And so we're definitely kind of learning as we go, and we're providing a shuttle service from the City Hall to the venue, and people will pick up tickets on the day of the event and either take the shuttle or go themselves. And so so far it's been really great. We've got a lot of great feedback. We went to the Royal Philharmonic show last week, and I have some great pictures for that. Oops, I forgot to bring that up. I have some pictures.
Oh, good.
Just one slide, though, for my short report. But yeah, so we think people are really enjoying this, and we're excited to see how this program kind of flourishes over the years. And then a couple things, and Commissioner Dodarian already mentioned this, but we have, I think, 7 of the 8 artists from Art Venture videos up on the YouTube channel. I was going to put them on our webpage, which I may still do, the Art Venture webpage, but until I do that, you're welcome to kind of search it on the YouTube channel, and those are on there, and those are really great. And then also there's the video for the Home on the Range mural that was just completed as well. And there's actually also a video for the butterfly garden. So if you didn't get to go, you can watch that. So it's really pretty, it's fun. And yeah, and that should wrap up for me. Just a couple other things. We're currently working on next year's budget, and I'll let all of you know when that budget meeting comes up this year for the next fiscal year. And we are still working on the TESA application for the murals on private property, so what that looks like. So I know that's in the works, and we'll get back to you all when we have a date. I know we talked about having maybe Kathia present on it or something, like how TESA works, how people can log their murals on private property. So, but yes, that's it for me, and thank you all so much.
Ms. Garner, I recognize several faces, familiar faces from the senior center in that left photo, and I was at the center on Tuesday and talked to Mariana Duarte and some of the members, and they were so thrilled. I know you're keeping it down low because we can't invite everyone there, but there's a lot of energy, and it really is changing their world to be able to participate. So thank you so much. Appreciate that. Ms. Villasenor, do you have any final comments this evening? No?
Sorry. Just to, make the connection between our Parks and Community Services and the Arts Division as a whole, our spotlight for the spring just came out, and we have some interesting contests on page 19. We do quarterly contests in each magazine that we put out, and for the spring, we have a upcycled art competition that will display some art at our Earth Day event, our annual Earth Day festival that we have here at City Hall. So that's, the connection right there with if you know anybody that does some recycled artwork, forward this information to them. And then on below the second half of the page, we typically use our own in-house photos for covers, but we really want to see what the community puts out there. And so Summertime is a big time for us in the Parks and Community Services. It's a Parks Make Life Better month, and so we're just looking at getting some people's photography of what they do at our parks. And so I know that we have some very skilled photographers out there in our community, and you don't even have to be professional. We get good submittals all the time. So, if you know anybody that has upcycled art or has any good pictures at our parks, have them enter these contests. That's it from me.
I do have a question on the spotlight, since this is my first moment seeing it, but I see that on page 1, you're featuring Juan Islas, and he was at the Art Venture Community Day event, and he was a former student of Costa Mesa High School. And is this piece of artwork somewhere at City Hall?
It's going to be in our aquatic center.
Oh, is that where it's going to be? Yes. Well, but that's nice. He's donated it to the city. Is that correct?
He has.
Yeah. So that's a nice thing. Ms. Thomas, do you have anything to say below? Okay. If there are no other comments, I'd just like to say that for me, as the chair for the last year, the 7 of us came together. It's been a year, and many of us didn't know each other. This was the first time we met sitting up here at the dais, and you have 7 different personalities and 7 different hearts for the arts and different talents and but one thing is clear. I have learned so much. I have grown, and I've become a stronger member of the community because I'm serving alongside of each of you. So thank you for your support. And I know we're in good hands. With that, I adjourn the meeting.
Okay. We adjourn the meeting.